Hey, this is Zach Peak.
Hey, this is Pat Dorian.
Hey, this is Drew Robb.
It's Anthony Cervidio.
You're listening to the Talking Birdie podcast.
Fly ball left field. Nate McClough is there. And the magical season of the Baltimore Orioles continues.
Ball and 2 strikes on Goins. Ground ball to first. There's Pierce. And the Orioles are champions of the AL East.
And everybody knows he's ready to fire on the first one. Bases loaded. Young swings, line drive. That is down and to the wall. Cruz is in. Pierce is in. Party around third. He's going to try to score. And safe. The Orioles have the lead.
With the first selection of the 2019 MLB Draft, the Baltimore Orioles select Adley Rutschman, a catcher from Oregon State University.
Welcome back to the Talking Birdie podcast. I'm here today as Josh. Brad is here, and we think Ryan is either taking a nap or he's in a ditch somewhere, and we're not going to be able to hear from him again. Brad, how you doing today with this information?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm a little shaken by this whole thing. We just heard from him about, I don't know, an hour and a half or so ago, and now we're not sure what's going on. So, I'm pushing through it and going through a hard time at the moment, but we're going to get through this because
I expect him to answer like 20 minutes into this. And
yep.
Like, oh, sorry, guys.
I mean, we have a product that we have to deliver to the people. So we have to fight through some adversity right now. And I couldn't ask for a better partner in crime than yourself, Josh. So how you doing?
Doing good, Brad. Appreciate that. If he gave us a little earlier notice, I would have asked Bob because he reached out to us and said,
that is true.
If you guys need an extra person, I'll help you guys out. It's like, oh, appreciate that, Bob. But Ryan did not give us any notice for this today, and I don't want to just be like, yo, Bob, you free right now? So
yeah, that's true. So Bob, if you're listening to this, just be on standby. It's your responsibility to be available just in case we have an emergency on any Thursday night.
Taxi squad, keep that right arm loose.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
All right. Well, Brad, have you been watching too many Orioles games this week?
Unfortunately, all of them.
West Coast trip, I get if maybe you perhaps didn't. Some of these games have 9:40 start times.
Oh, yeah. I've still stayed up mostly till the end of all of them, which has been rough because of I start work at 6:30 in the morning right now. Yeah. So it hasn't been the most fun and not a lot of offensive explosion going on either. So, man, this series has been tough.
Yeah, this has been really boring, man.
Not only are the bats cold, so we lose 3 out of 4 to Oakland.
Yeah,
you know where I stand on the pitchers. You got Oakland making Watkins, Lyles, and Ellis look like Cy Young winners, and all that's doing is buying those tools more time in the rotation. And we only won one of the games. Yeah. I could take it like if, all right, those 3, obviously I want those 3 guys gone. They did well, but I think it's more Oakland just being fucking ice cold, almost as bad as us. And I don't know. So they put up good numbers and we still didn't win the game. So except for, what was it? I guess it was the Lyles start.
Yep.
Yeah, we won that game 1-0. So I didn't actually watch that one because I was playing ball last night, but I got an update on my phone that Oakland had scored a run to go up 1-0, but then they didn't end up scoring a run. So did something get reviewed on that or?
Yeah, so there was I believe it was runner on first. I could be wrong. Whatever. And it ended up being a base hit to right field. It went all the way to the wall, I think, and Ryan McKenna fields it, throws it to Mateo. It was Odor. Odor threw it home, and the initial call was out. Billy McKinney out at the plate. Safe. Okay. And they reviewed it, and it was overturned. It was kind of controversial because there wasn't like a clear shot that showed that he was like definitively out. Like you can kind of make the assumption that the glove maybe just barely nicked him right before he touched it, but it was a good relay. Ended up saving the game. You know, like I said, Ryan McKenna's season started yesterday, and
Okay.
he had a good day today too. He came in after Mancini got ejected and got a single and scored a run. So
He did.
and he got a
Was-
sack fly.
That Mancini situation was kind of weird.
Yeah, that was wild, man. So I was on my way home from work and I see the play happen on my phone, and my girlfriend, who had the game on at home, immediately texted me and was like, can you explain this when you get home? Because I don't understand. It's like, to be honest, it's kind of dumb.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that at the big league level, because technically you have to, the umpire has to deem that you made an attempt to go to second base. And really all he did was turn around, but I guess he did it in fair territory. So that makes it a judgment call. And I don't know, man. It was ticky tack as hell. But
Yeah, like technically, yes, but Kevin Brown said it best. He was like, spirit of the game. Like he's obviously not. He didn't make an attempt for second. He just kind of got his brakes on and just made sure he was ready to go if that ball went farther away. He did look left, which they kind of tell you that in like T-ball. They're like, or not T-ball, but like coach pitch and stuff. Like they teach you
running
to
into foul territory.
Run into foul territory. Don't look
Turn
over
right.
your left shoulder because some umpires will call it. And Rob Drake did call it. There was a similar play last year. Christian Yelich got called on it. I don't know if it was the same umpire, but yeah, just crazy play. Hyde gets ejected.
I guess the umpire was Rob Drake, so we're gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, Rob Drake. But it was kind of weird because a half inning goes by, or the Orioles go out in the field, and Mancini's still chirping at the first base umpire from the bench. He says, "Hey, what the fuck?" or "Hey, fuck you," is a shitty call or something like that. Trey gets tossed immediately, and then Hyde runs out and starts yelling at him, and then he gets tossed. But kind of a bizarre play.
That's just a situation for Hyde where he has no choice but to go out and talk some shit and get tossed. So
yeah, I love it when like players and the coach get ejected, because they go right back to the clubhouse and they're like cracking open beers and they're like, "Yeah, man, that was bullshit." It's just back and forth, just arguing in agreement.
Dude, there was a clip from some minor league game that I saw that I'm gonna have to send you the link after, but the manager's name was Wally and the batter's name was Doc, and I don't even remember their last names, but basically the guy Doc gets called out on strikes, and it didn't look like he did much, but he ends up getting tossed because I guess he gave him a funny look or something, and the manager just had the most epic tirade, throwing shit out on the field, like telling the catcher to get out of the way because he has to throw some shit to land on home plate. And then at the end of it, like once he's done his epic flip out, he looks at the player that got tossed. He's just like, "Oh, let's go have a beer, Doc."
Sounds about right, man.
Yeah, so I gotta send you the link to that.
Okay. The series before this was a bit more fun. We played 3 against the Yankees, won 2 of them, won game 1 on a walk-off. Walk-off, yeah. Another largely boring series with not a lot of offense and a lot of like just decent pitching performances, I guess. But we ended up at least winning 2 in that one.
Yeah. So that got us to 3-6, and then we dropped 3 out of 4 after that against Oakland. So none of the offenses really in either of those series, Yankees, A's, O's, seem to really get much going. Today there was a little bit more, but yeah, I don't know. Slow start. It seems like a slow start this season overall for a lot of offenses, as I was talking about in the group chat earlier. Seems to be more unders hitting at least the last few days than usual on these MLB games. So it's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, we will definitely get into that when we get to that segment later, sneak peek. But any more thoughts on these series? It's kind of hard to talk about them like 4 days after they happen because I don't like fully remember all the details.
Yeah, I mean, I think I pretty much covered it, man. The pitchers that I trash all the time actually did pretty well. I think it's more about Oakland sucking than them doing particularly well, but our offense it's been kind of unwatchable. So
yeah, and that Oakland team's pretty bad.
Like, yeah, they are
offensively, especially. Like they got some young pitchers. Like any team's kind of got a couple like bright arms, but I mean the bats are terrible. Like it's Sean Murphy and like Seth Brown, and that's it.
I guess Pache is all right. Christian Pache.
He's like a bad hitter though. That's like his thing. He's like really good on defense. But he had a homer today.
He did, yeah. I mean, he's like one of the only ones on their team I actually know. So
Right. And as Brad said, the offense is struggling. Santander, I believe, is the only hitter with an OPS plus over 100. A lot of starters sitting down there in like the 80s and the 70s, and 100 is league average. So,
and that was all mostly because he started out hot. He hasn't been
yeah,
that great the last couple series either. So
he's been walking a lot, but yeah, like I thought that too. Like he doesn't seem like he's making an impact, especially as like the leading offensive guy, but it's been so bad that he is the leading offensive guy.
just looking at the OPS is going down the lineup today. I have it up in front of me. Mullins 660. Santander still good at 853, but he was at 1.5 after like the first 6 games. So Mancini 586, McKenna 550, Mountcastle 592, Odor 429, Hayes 666, Arias 472, Ben Boom 274, Mateo 618. It's just it's so frustrating to watch, man.
I mean, we are leading baseball in walks, but like leading them in strikeouts too, I believe. We're not hitting for any power. I mean, we've hit like what, 2 home runs?
I think Mullins has 2. Mountcastle has 1, so that would be 4. That's crazy, man.
Only 4 though. That's wild.
We're 13 games in and we've hit 4 home runs.
Yep, and the OPSs reflect that. Hayes had a terrible first 2 series, but he turned it on in the Yankees series. He had a decent Oakland series. Urias, the opposite, had a decent Tampa series and has just fallen off a cliff since then.
Yeah, Hayes up to 666 OPS. That's the second highest on the team, which is sad to say.
That's ridiculous, man. And I will say, to Mountcastle's like credit, I guess he's like better than he was last April, if that means anything.
I don't know that means anything.
It doesn't mean anything, but he was bad last April. Like people are talking about sending him down, but I think being on the West Coast helps him out. He's a warm weather guy.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
we'll see, man. Yeah, I mean, obviously a little too soon to
yeah
give up on guys that have proven track records like Mullins and Mountcastle. Although there is a little bit of reason to be concerned, since for Mullins, especially since he's only put up huge numbers for 1 year. But you got to think he's probably somewhere between what he was last year and what he is right now. I mean, I think he is a pretty good hitter. It's just kind of going through things right now, and he'll figure it out. Probably won't have another 30-30 year, but still probably a pretty good ball player. And then kind of the same thing for Mountcastle.
Yeah, I mean, that's a hard feat to recreate, especially in back-to-back years. But I mean, I think these guys will be fine. It's just, yeah, a tough start. But what's not at a tough start is the pitching staff. Like Brad talked about earlier, like even the guys you expect to do bad are doing really well. And the bullpen has been electric.
Joey Craybill, there's a guy out of the bullpen that has no track record of being any good at all, and he's somehow been really good. I don't know.
I love him, man. He looks like every like early 2000s or 90s reliever coming out there. Like even his windup, just a larger guy with the high socks.
Yeah, but that's another guy I'm not sure I expect him to sustain.
Perhaps not, but between him, Brian Baker, Jorge Lopez, Keegan Aikens turning in some good performances. Like there's more guys in this pen that are doing good than aren't, and no one expected this to be the leading Fangraphs WAR pitching staff in all of baseball. Like unbelievable.
I mean, they didn't expect us to, and I'm sure we probably won't be. So
right, and John Means is out for a considerable amount of time, and we're still kind of holding it up without him, but that's not going to last too long. But I mean, we still don't really know that much about the Means injury. Like they just put him on the 60-day IL. They're like, we'll get another opinion, but they do imagine he'll be out for a considerable amount of time.
Well, it sounds like the second opinion pretty much said he's going to be done for the year. At least that's what I understand. So
yeah. But they are getting Matt Harvey ready in Sarasota.
Oh man, help is on the way. Can't wait. We're so blessed.
They have a cheating lab now, so he'll be fine.
Yeah, that's true.
I heard DL Hall's ramping up. Apparently they weren't working through like his injury. Like he's been full go since spring training started, but he's they just want to make sure he's built up enough to like withstand everything. And it's believed that him and DL and Adley will be like pushed through Bowie and Norfolk within the next week or so, hopefully.
With how slowly we handle prospects, when you say DL Hall's ramping up, I'm thinking he's ramping up so he'll be ready for spring training next year.
He's coming.
Oh man.
But I mean, yeah.
For those who haven't been following my Twitter, my Twitter rants. I obviously love Elias. I love everything that he's done with rebuilding the farm. Couldn't have asked for more of a home run hire in terms of that. But I really think it's time to, take the training wheels off of some of these guys, so to speak, and move a little bit faster.
I agree, man. Like they're babying these guys a lot. I get with pitchers why you might want to do that, but Adley had like a tricep injury where he was supposed to be out for like 2 or 3 weeks, and he's still down there taking like Sarasota extended spring at bats. And
I don't believe for a second that he couldn't be playing baseball right now safely. I don't buy it.
I don't buy it. He couldn't be playing in like Aberdeen or something right now.
At least DHing.
Yeah, it's bizarre, but we all kind of understand. We don't understand. We know why they're doing it, but
it's a convenient opportunity for more service clock manipulation of a guy who's going to be 25 this year. Meanwhile, right, 25?
I believe he'll be 24 for the entire year, but I'll double check that.
Okay, but he'll be okay. Anyway, still service clock manipulation on a 24-year-old. Meanwhile, Bobby Witt Jr. Granted, he's struggling a little bit to start out, but he was
playing.
He was drafted second overall out of high school behind Adley, and he's already debuted in the big leagues. And Spencer Torkelson, who got drafted first overall the next year on the opening day roster. Andrew Vaughn taken third overall, same draft as Adley. He's in the big leagues. Riley Green, who the Tigers took at 5, pretty much would have been in the big leagues on opening day. And he was a high school guy too, but he got hurt. But it's just
Matt Brash is up. CJ Abrams is up. I mean,
CJ, Abrams is a high school guy too. Yeah. Again, so it's getting a little ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just wild, man. I mean, like I get maybe you want okay, you lose 2020, whatever. So did everyone else. So did
exactly. Yeah. That's what drives me crazy, man. Like these guys are still losing. I mean, still losing a year of their age. I mean, their aging didn't pause. So
same thing kind of talk about with Bradish. I mean, he's almost 25 himself, right? Like I don't really get why you're manipulating the service time of these guys who are mid-20s. Like maybe you want to do that with guys like Mayo or Henderson who are 20 years old or 19 years old. Maybe you want to push them till they're 22 just to make sure they're ready and you get the extra years. But like you said, Adley's 24. He'll turn 25 in February, so you got some time on that. But Bradish,
and dude, I mean, obviously I'm Bannon biased, but he's off to a hot start. It's just with the way our bats are, with the way our infield is, that's a guy you can give a shot. He's 26 years old. He's going to be 26 this year, I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, just at least call him up. If he sucks, I'll eat crow and we can move on from him. But I just want to find out,
Yeah. I think they're going to wait till like June, maybe. They'll DFA Owings and Odor at some point before then. The whole infield will be young guys, and it'll be actually fun, but it sucks right now.
My whole thing is we shouldn't have to wait till June. That's a frustrating thing. To be honest with you, dude, nobody's even mentioning Westberg as a guy who should get called up. In other organizations, he'd probably be in the big leagues already.
I 100% agree.
But because he's not next in the pecking order, we're not even really thinking about him. But he's 23. He was a college guy. He's producing. He's produced at every level. Like, he could be in the big leagues.
He's 23 right now. He's a college guy as well, taken in the second round, I think, in 2020.
Yeah, but when you look at the pecking order, it's like he's nowhere close.
They brainwashed us into forgetting about him because he's in Bowie and he's not amongst that, like, quadruplet of like AAA infielders, like Vermeer and Martin and Jones and Vavra and all these other guys. But
exactly. So Westberg could easily be in the big leagues for another organization right now. So I'm just wondering what's going through these guys' heads. Obviously, it's got to be annoying as hell for them, but they can't say anything publicly about it. So,
right, yeah. I'm with you, man. This is any reporter who would listen to this pulling their hair out.
Yeah.
Adley needs to work on his defense in AAA.
Oh my God. Yeah. Give me a break.
Man. You want to talk about your conspiracy theory here? Even though we just like bash propaganda on the front office for a little bit.
It sounds ridiculous calling it a conspiracy theory. We talked about last year how they deadened balls for some games, and there's a lot of lower scoring games this year. Put two and two together. Are they using the deadened ball more often or almost exclusively, maybe? Yeah, with the Orioles, it's been more extreme. When I'm looking at it from a betting standpoint, today would have been the first game that an over actually would have hit an Orioles game. But all in all, unders are hitting probably about 55 to 60% right now, when typically it'd be more around the 50-ish range, 50-50. So, yeah, it's a little early in the season still, and a lot of that's weighed up by the last few days. It was a little bit more of an extreme, but it just makes me wonder, are they throwing more of those dead balls out there? Like, we call it a conspiracy theory, but it's a reasonable one, considering that they admitted that they did it last year.
Yeah, so like this dates back to like 2019. I think that's when all the home run records were set. Like,
yeah, that's when they overjuiced them.
That's when they overjuiced the balls. Minnesota hit like a all-time record home run amount. Yankees weren't far behind them.
So not only did Minnesota break the all-time home run record, they broke it in August.
Yeah.
And the Orioles broke the record for home runs allowed in August. When both of those things happen in a season, that's ridiculous. And I'm a fan of the home run ball. I am. But I'm also a fan of the integrity of the game. And it's when there's like shittier players hitting 30 to 35 bombs, it starts to lose meaning. So
I agree with you, man. And then in 2021, they admitted in like some sort of interview, I forget the context, I would have to research that again, but there was something printed in a newspaper article where they said that they admitted this in games like the Field of Dreams game, they were using more juice balls than they would in games like Tigers versus Royals on like a Tuesday afternoon or something like that. They literally admitted changing what ball they use based on the like how many eyes would be on these games. So like, and if you remember the Field of Dreams game, it was like 10-9 and the White Sox won on like a walk-off or something, like a big offensive game.
I don't even understand the logic behind that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you want offense is better for ratings, I guess, but why wouldn't you just make all the balls juice? I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't get it either, man. Like it messes with guys' careers. It messes with like all these other things. And like I don't know what's so difficult about just putting the same ball out there for every single game.
Yeah, I don't understand that one, man.
I know they wanted to change this year's ball so pitchers wouldn't feel the need to use like spider tack or sunscreen or things like this, so they can like get a better grip. But I don't know how perfected they got on that.
So what is it, like they tighten it or they lower the seams or something like that? I don't really know the logistics behind it.
I think it's something with the actual leather, like they're not doing anything with the seams. I don't fully know. So I don't even know if it's been reported.
But the point of it is they're changing the ball.
They're changing the ball, but as long as they keep it uniform, I don't really care. As long as they're being open about it, I don't really care. Like, don't change the ball for games, but please tell us what you're doing to the ball so guys aren't like all of a sudden breaking out with like 40 homer seasons.
I just wish we could go back to whatever ball they use 2018 and prior. Whatever it is, man, because I don't want a dead ball. I don't want a juice ball. I just want a fucking regular ass baseball that if you crush it, it's going to be a bomb. If you don't, you're going to fly out.
Do you remember in like the early 2010s when like Miguel Cabrera and Albert Pujols were like the only two guys in baseball that could like flick home runs to the opposite field like the way they do, like consistently?
I saw Chris Davis do it a few times, actually.
Chris Davis could do it too, but like there's just these really like elite guys. But now you see guys do it all the time. Like it happens all the time, every game, pretty much. You see like just some scrub just like flick something. Like I saw Keston Hiura do it the other day. Like that's not a guy who can flick those like 100-mile-an-hour the other way consistently, and he did it the other day. But I don't know, man. Just keep it consistent.
So that sounds like an argument against my dead ball theory.
I don't even care. Like, I don't care what side it leans. Yeah. Just be open about what you're trying to do with it and let guys like know so they can. Yeah. This is another tangent I got for this. The minor league balls are different than the major league balls.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Why?
I know in the past the AAA ball has been the same as the major league ball, but I don't know if it's been like that every year. I just remember, I think 2019 when the balls were juiced in the big leagues, they were also juiced in AAA. But
Okay.
you would see guys going from double A to triple A and suddenly start hitting way better.
Yeah, and
Go up a level and it's easier to hit because the balls are juiced.
right. I used to get balls from Mud Hens games all the time in Toledo, and I got a major league ball the same year. They were significantly different. Like the seams on the major league ball are like so much smaller and like tighter than the minor league ball, and like even the material, the leather's like a little bit like tighter on the major league ball. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Weird. I don't know why guys can't just have the same ball so they know what they're getting into. They get to
Yeah.
the majors.
I actually remember Luis Severino was making a rehab start against the Bay Sox in the Double A championship a few years ago, but Severino was throwing a major league ball, and that was the juice ball year. Whereas the Bay Sox were throwing minor league balls, and the Bay Sox actually shelled Severino that day. And they ended up with that. I think that was the only game the Bay Sox won that series. Severino throwing an MLB ball while the Bay Sox were throwing the dead minor league ball.
So they actually gave a different ball depending on the team that was throwing.
Because Severino
Severino
was a major leaguer on a rehab assignment, they made the exception.
See, it's dumb we even have to talk about that. Why isn't it just the same ball?
I mean, I guess I kind of understand the logic in that case because the priority is major leagues and the guy's rehabbing to go back to the big leagues. I kind of get that, but at the same time, it shouldn't be a different ball in the first place. So,
Right.
Yeah.
No. Well, I have no more thoughts on this.
Yeah, I think we pretty much covered it.
All right. We would do a fantasy draft if Ryan was alive/awake.
Yeah.
But Brad, would you like to read the results from the last 2 weeks just because you calculated them? So I don't want to feel like your effort was in vain.
So are we going to keep it running then, I guess?
We're going to keep it running, but since you calculated it, I just figured I'd have you just say what the results were for 2 weeks.
Standings actually a little bit reversed from what we're used to. Josh, you are in first place. I'm in second. Ryan's in dead last right now.
Let's go.
Westberg kind of carried it for you, but also pitching wise, friend of the pod, Drew Rom, with his win and a bunch of strikeouts. Yeah, he had pitching wise, he put up 18 points, whereas Tyler Wells only 2.66 for Ryan. Alex Wells 5 points for me because he only pitched. Alex Wells only ended up pitching 2 innings within that time frame. They were scoreless.
Yeah, he was good when he was here,
but he pitched 4 scoreless. I think the day in AAA, the day that I drafted him, I guess. So that didn't count. That didn't count.
Ron pitched tonight too. He was 1 run.
Yeah.
A couple strikeouts in there.
Exactly. So that's good to see. So yeah, his first start ended up giving up 3 in 3 innings, got a little bit of bad luck, little soft contact. And he told us after the game, not worried about it. First start. Look at him. He bounced back beautifully.
He's here, man.
So, yep. So
I wanted to bring this up earlier, but I think we moved on. But Ryan took Tyler Wells. What do you think of that so far? He's made 3 starts. They haven't been great.
Actually, now that you mentioned that, I didn't even add Tyler Wells' numbers in from today because I thought today wasn't even going to count. My thoughts on Tyler Wells. Someone asked me this earlier today too. I'm pretty undecided on Tyler Wells. I think he's a legitimate major leaguer, and I wish him well. I think he's worthy of being evaluated. You may as well give him a shot in the rotation. So I'm not mad that they're doing it. And I do think today he got a little bit unlucky. There were some soft ground balls that infielders were playing, in wacky spots that actually got through. So I think today he got a little bit unlucky. His first start, not so much. I think he just got kind of shelled.
Well, first starts when Brandon Lau hit the 2-run shot, but everything else was pretty weak.
Right.
I think the middle start was like meh.
Middle start, wasn't he scoreless in his middle start?
Let me double check that.
I think he was, because I'm pretty sure he had like a 40-something ERA after the first start, right? Because he got rocked. Or maybe I might.
He gave up like 4 runs in that first start. Let me see the game logs here.
But then he lowered it into the 6s coming into today. But then he didn't last particularly long today. So
no. I imagine it's going to be a big week for the long relievers. This can't keep up, but we're facing good offensive like the Angels and the Oh, who do we play after? Oh, the Yankees come back in.
Yeah. Jury is still largely out on Tyler Wells, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't feel strongly one way or another.
Yeah, it's just been disappointing to see because like a guy like him was kind of like the life of that bullpen last year. Like he might not have had the best numbers, but they were really impressive outings when he was out there.
Yeah, but that also leads you to the positive that even if he ends up failing as a starter, we have seen him succeed as a
Right.
reliever. So
Exactly. Yeah, and with the bullpen doing as well as it is right now, I mean, and a guy who like Tyler Wells, who you want to see if he can be a starter like he was in the minors, it's certainly important for him to get these. Yeah, he went 4 innings scoreless last time, so I
Right.
forgot about that start.
yeah. So
More of that.
I mean, his ERA obviously not great after 3 starts, but also doesn't quite tell a story of a little bit of bad luck that he got into also. So
Right. And those numbers will change as baseball reference updates tonight. But
Yep.
yeah, that's our Tyler Wells spiel.
Yep. But
We'll go into our minor league segment for this week with no Ryan. It's he has yet to talk about the Orioles yet with us this season.
he's probably just nervous, man. That's all it is.
Yeah, I get it, man. You got some hot takes. You don't want to maybe expose that to the boys, but
Exactly. All right. Well, I guess I'll start down in Delmarva. It looks like they're as a team about to drop to 5-7, but hitting wise,
they had a bad night last night.
yeah, they got destroyed by Myrtle Beach. I guess Daryl Hernandez is off to the best start down there. He's got a 1.031 ERA. Shortstop drafted in the same draft at a high school as Gunner. I guess he was 5th round or so. And then I have Michelle. How do you say Dassone's name?
Michelle Dasson.
Michelle Dasson. He's hitting for a solid average to start out, but not much power, not a lot of walks. 310, but only a 722 OPS. Delmarva, I kind of feel like right now has the most meh roster on the farm. So
yeah, to me, it doesn't exist until the draft influx.
Yeah, or at least I want to see like a Trenton Craig move up or something, man.
Yeah, or like I want Michael Hernandez there like before July.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Aberdeen, though, they've been a little bit more fun.
Yes.
They've got some good sticks going. So going down the lineup, Cesar Prieto hit his 3rd home run tonight. He's got an 866 OPS, batting 311. Kobe Mayo had a bit of a slow start, but he rebounded a little bit. I think he hit a bomb last night and a couple doubles, so his OPS up to 833. TT Bowen's at 958. John Rhodes is a star on that squad right now, though. He's he hit a couple doubles tonight. His OPS over 1,000.
Dante Williams too.
Yeah, he's cooled off a little bit,
Yeah.
but his OPS is 797, so pretty solid.
He dropped off that much.
Yeah, he did. I guess a couple overs. Jacob Teeter, also, Grant, he's a first baseman, and he just kind of got started here, but he hit a bomb and has a couple doubles. He's at 1,000 OPS in a smaller sample size.
Yeah, we got a nice Connor Norby bat flip the other night.
Oh yeah, let's see.
I think he led off the game with the dinger, and he just stared down the pitcher. Please bring that to the major league team.
We need that, dude. We definitely need that.
Yeah, we got no fire like that on the major league team.
Or at least we don't have guys that are good enough to
be cocky.
To display that fire. Yeah, Connor Norby, let's see. He's off to a good start too. He's at 867. So cool. Yeah, Aberdeen, they're first place in their division. They're I think 9-4. Double check that right now.
I saw a tweet as well today that said that I believe Aberdeen, Bowie, Norfolk, and Baltimore are all number 1 in their respective leagues in walk totals.
That actually is kind of telling when it's organization wide. So you said Bowie, Aberdeen,
everything but Delmarva, I believe.
So Norfolk too.
I think so. I'd have to double check that, but yeah, that's impressive. Like even though it's early on, like for all 4 to be number 1.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so Gene Pinto, he's been hit around a bit. He's got an 8 ERA, but he has been putting up the strikeout numbers, so wouldn't get too discouraged on him yet. Still showing that he's got some high quality stuff, just having a little bit of trouble harnessing it early on. He had 8 strikeouts in 4 innings the other day. So his start before was just like that as well. So keep an eye on him. Bowie right now. Let's head over to Bay Sox. I'm heading down to see them play tomorrow night.
Who are they playing tomorrow? Akron still?
Akron, yep.
Watch out for George Valera.
Yeah, for sure.
He's fun. I watched the Phillies AA team just kick them in the teeth the other night. It was like 14-2 or something like that.
Oh, really?
But Valera made some nice plays in the field. He actually stood out, hit a leadoff homer, or his first AB was a homer. A couple of nice hits in there.
Yeah, Akron was like the one team that had Bowie's number last year.
Yeah,
Bowie
beat
beat
kicking
him.
their teeth in this year.
Bowie beat him 20-6 the other day, and then they beat him again last night. They're in extras against them right now, tied at 2. Up, just lost it. And it's going to the bottom of the 10th. Actually, so Bowie's going to start with that runner on second. But Hudson Haskin has been the story there for sure. He's off to a killer start. 0 for 4 tonight, but even after the 0 for 4, he's at a 1.516 OPS.
He missed a couple of games with like a hand injury, but he came back and was right back at it. I think he had a grand slam the next night or something.
Yeah. He's been absolutely killing it. Jordan Westberg also, who we just talked about, could easily be in the big leagues if he was in another organization other than this.
Like, tell me that the Pirates aren't playing like Jordan Westberg on their major league team.
Yeah,
if
dude.
They have him. Yeah,
for sure. His OPS is over 1,000, so that's dope.
And he hasn't been lighting up like certain nights either. He'll have like 2 walks and like a double, and that's his like final line. That's really impressive.
Hell yeah, dude. So some good things coming out of Bowie, but Norfolk for the first time for probably ever actually since they've been an Orioles affiliate has actually been fun to follow on a nightly basis. Yeah. Gray Rod tearing it up. He's got like a 1.26 ERA, 14.1 innings pitched, 23 strikeouts. We actually did the tweet today about Gray Rod. What does he have to do to get called up? Wrong answers only. There were some funny ones on there, actually.
Yeah, I believe number 1 was he has to deal opioids to teammates.
Yes.
That was number 1. I wish I had the tweet pulled up so I could say who it was, but we did quote tweet it.
I'm pulling it up right now, actually. We
got like 50 comments on that. Like, that was ridiculous.
That was Futures right in Birdland. So
shout out.
Speaking of 50 comments, shout out to the 200 plus likes on Jesus Hates the Yankees.
They got 200 likes.
Yeah, 216. How about that?
Gosh.
I mean, I'm a master of my words. What can I say?
Me and Ryan were freaking out. We were screenshotting it every time it went up like 30. We were like, how is this tweet getting so many likes?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I didn't think that was going to happen, but
that's wild.
That's funny as shit. But anyway, also as far as Norfolk's going and some guys that we got in the pipeline, Bannon posting at 883 OPS. They've had him playing both at second and third. He played second tonight. Let's see what else. I mean, Richie Martin at 862, but whatever.
Johnny Reiser just hitting bombs and
Johnny Reiser, he's all or nothing. All of a sudden, he's batting 200 with an 841 OPS. He's got like funny. 5 bombs.
He was not that guy last year.
No, he wasn't.
Not that guy. He had a couple homers, like some decent home run numbers, but nothing like where every hit is a homer.
I mean, it could just be he might just be hot. I don't know if I'm ready to peg him as a 40 home run type hitter.
Yeah. Oh, certainly not.
His power swing might be hot, I guess I should say. I don't know, but Cumberland actually is heating up tonight. He hit 2 bombs and a double, so his OPS up to 875. But
just bring him up and send Ben Boom somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't mind Ben Boom. He doesn't piss me off the way like Austin Wins would sometimes, but he's still like bad.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. But hopefully Adley will be up here sooner rather than later, and we won't have to worry about it. Vespi out of the bullpen, been pretty great so far. 6 scoreless innings, 9 Ks.
6 scoreless.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Nice. Bradish Only one earned run allowed in 9 innings. So he's got that 1 ERA with 9 Ks.
He's got to be the guy they're just building up in AAA, and he'll be here in May, right?
Yeah.
That sounds right. I'm sad Brnovich got injured.
Oh, yeah, that does suck, dude. When is the service clock date, though? Do we know?
I believe it's past. Like, it's the first, 15 days of the season or something like that. So I believe it's over. And if not, it's definitely over May 1st.
Yeah.
So we are past that point.
Kyle Stowers, yeah, that's another guy. Really no reason to.
He's injured.
Oh, he got injured?
Yeah, he's on the 7-day IL. I think he said he had upper body tightness or something like that. Diaz is also on the IL, I believe.
Diaz is on the IL, but I'm seeing Stowers is active right now.
Raul Ramos posted something
really?
Today. Yeah, it said 7. They'll put him on like the day-to-day or something like that.
Well, if he's day-to-day, then they probably just have him sitting. So maybe he's not actually on the IL.
It was 2 days out of the lineup after he complained about soreness. But yeah, he might not go to the IL, but they are sitting him out a couple days.
Well, yeah, it's an encouraging sign if he's not actually on the IL. It's probably not anything too serious. But
sadly, Terran Vavra did go on the IL.
Oh, man.
I'm really pulling for him, man. He's turning 26, I think, at the end of this year. He's hitting like 900 OPS. He's playing really good D at second.
Well, let's not start his clock too early, Josh.
Right. 28 minimum.
Yeah.
really get him through those.
We want him to be right in the middle of his prime. Not even in the beginning, in the middle of his prime when we start the clock.
So, I want him to not even know what a big league pitcher looks like until he's 29.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, yeah, some good things to get excited about on the farm. I'm just anxious to see some of them soon on the big club.
Yeah, dude. We said this in the first episode, but I think this major league team is going to be a lot of fun by June.
I hope so, man.
It'll just get more fun as the months go on. You'll see guys like Kyle Brnovich and Bradish get sent up here. DL Hall should honestly be up here pretty soon. And Mike Elias has at least spoken to that. Rutschman will be here when he's healthy. These infielders will start getting called up. We won't see the Odors, the Owings, maybe even the Gutierrez's in the lineup every day. You will see Vavra, Jones. Might even see Westberg, as we talked about. It's coming, guys.
Yep. Just hopefully sooner rather than later.
Sooner than later. I prefer that as well. But
I've got an over 61.5 win total I need to hit. So
I don't know. That's looking tough.
It depends how soon they call some of these guys up, man.
Yep. It depends how long our rotation is made up of Chris Ellis, Spencer Watkins, and ex-pitcher.
Hey, Ellis is your boy, though, so
he's not my boy. I thought he deserved a shot, man.
Oh man.
Got anything else you want to add tonight? Ryan never hopped on.
Yeah, so hopefully he's all right.
Yep. Just sleeping.
So, yep. I guess so. Anyways, yeah, I guess that means me and you have to have a day off coming our way soon then, huh? After these last 2 weeks.
We've earned some extra PTO.
Ryan, you're the boss man here. When you're listening in, Josh and I have earned some days off. So stop working us so hard. Stop abusing us in all the meetings. You're being really rough on us. Just give us some days off. That's all we ask.
I drove all the way to Baltimore and he touched me inappropriately.
Yeah, it was
workplace. No, he didn't. Workplace lawsuit.
I should point out that he wanted to say that I unfairly placed him in the Jordan Lyles fan club without him being around to defend it. So I will say that on his behalf, although I could have sworn he said it himself in the episode before. He says he was kidding. So scratch that. I'll let Ryan tell you his stance on Jordan Lyles next time. I'm going to leave you with that cliffhanger.
I think I know your answer to this, but is there a part of you that feels like, man, I really wish Jordan Lyles wasn't succeeding right now?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I know you've answered that.
Yes, because I'm answering that honestly, because anytime he does the same thing like as Rio Ruiz, anytime he does anything good, there's this one dude who's like a freaking 70-year-old baseball coach coming at me as soon as he made his first good start, like, oh yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just a little punk who doesn't know baseball. I've been coaching baseball since before you were born. So maybe have a little respect. Like, okay, dude, yeah, I don't give a fuck how long you've been coaching baseball. Okay, I've played baseball too, but I really don't give a shit. Even if I didn't play baseball, I know people who haven't played baseball since Little League that understand that having a career ERA of over 5 is not good. Like, you don't have to play baseball to know that. So even if I never had, it wouldn't matter like at all.
Can you read numbers, sir?
Yes. Yeah, that's a very basic concept. So take your fucking Chuck Corbett, take your fucking 50 years of coaching experience and shove it up your asshole. And I hope you don't block me by mid-season when Lyles is getting lit up again, but hopefully we still win those games.
I'll check off the explicit box when I upload this.
It should be explicit pretty much every episode.
It pretty much is. All right, guys. Well, on that note,
fuck you, Chuck Corbett. That's my closing thought.
All righty. On that note, we're out of here. Good luck to the O's in LA. And I don't know if they go to New York, but they definitely play New York.
I believe they do. I believe they go to New York.
Yep. But all right. See you guys next week. Adios.